Game GG. And the Targa is going to take down the first map in this series. So I feel horrible for saying that Aaures had that game locked down, man.
He did, and then he just threw it.
It felt like he was in an unlosable position there at that point. But
It was really good decision making by Targa to go for that Roach counterattack. I can't believe
Fantastic.
that. I can't believe that he lost that game. He
That was
has
sick,
to be
man.
All right, so we'll see. Targa's currently 1-up in the series, and Aaures needs a win here.
Targa
That's
number
this-
1 Australian we're seeing in the chat.
Let's see. Let me get the group standings up. All right, so Aaures 4GG is still in this group. I'd love to cast Targa versus 4GG.
Oh, man,
I
yeah.
believe that will be round 3, so coming up at 1 local time, 6 a.m. for me, 7. I don't know.
Me suggest you to the game here.
All right, sweet.
Hey guys, so lots of action gonna be coming up today. If you guys want, I'll link you to the Wikipedia right here. And the group stage brackets as well. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And we have got the second game just being created here now.
Yeah, it seems like Aaures is just quickly watching the replay.
Oh,
All right, so quick commercial break while we get these guys situated in the lobby, everything set up. Stay tuned. I have to. While there's a commercial, I'm just going to quickly reposition my mic.
okay. Brackets up in the chat.
Sorry if that was killing your ears. All right. Wonderful.
Yeah, man. And I feel so bad about saying Targa didn't have that game, man. Like I was really convinced that those Thors were going to be able to just focus down any ultra list that came out, just handle the entire composition. But Targa, man, showing why he's a beast.
It seems like, yeah, Nightbot does have the new command for the Dreamhack brackets. Unfortunately, he deleted a admin's post. I don't know. I do not control Nightbot. I simply watch him as he destroys many unfortunate people in the chat.
And yeah. So this is pretty good morning here. You got two guys from the East Coast United States of America casting games
Perfect.
internationally over at Spain.
Yeah.
And this is why esports is so beautiful, man. You get that cross-continent action, and the game has begun. The countdown is starting. And guys, we're going to be jumping into the second game here between Targa and Aaures on Ohana. TVZ. And we're just loading up.
All right, we are into the game.
Alright, and spawning in the lower right-hand corner of the map. Showed us some fantastic resilience in that last game. Killing the economy of his opponent, and then swarming him. See what he can do now on Ohana. In the pink trunks, it is Targa.
Yep, and his opponent, my 2Rex, was epic fail. Spawning up across from him in the top left-hand corner of Ohana, it is Aaures, spawning as the Blue Terran. And he was in a good spot, regardless of whether or not his 2Rex did do damage. It pulled 12 drones, and they weren't mining for about a minute, which really impacts Zerg economy. He had 4 drones mining during that time, and he forced a lot of early Zerglings as well. I really think that it did a fair job. If he had denied his opponent's scouting information on that 3rd CC in his main base, it would have worked wonders. So I definitely think that that's something he could improve on. But overall, it was a pretty back and forth really kind of wacky first game.
Definitely a wacky
On
first game.
Daybreak.
I mean, that 11-11 was able to keep Targa confined to 2 bases. It forced spine crawlers out of him. It forced lings when likely Targa was looking to make drones. So, I mean, there was, although he didn't kill a whole lot of anything, he did force some decisions out of Targa that he may have not otherwise made. And Targa's actually being a little cautious here, scouting out all of the areas where Proxy's locations are potentially happening. But it's just going to be a 1 barracks at the ramp here for Aaures. So I'll have to see if he wants to transition into making that early command center off of this. On the other side of the map here, Targa has dropped down his hatchery first and will be very, very safe in doing so.
Alright, so Targa going to work on the SCV building the barracks. Unfortunately, will not be allowed to kill him. I like the fact that he's being proactive about scouting for proxy racks. Especially on Ohana, you really want to be careful. Along with the fact that your opponent did proxy 11-11 racks in game 1. But with no second supply depot coming down here, most likely we will see a 1 racks FE. So we'll see how Aaures can transition into a macro play off of a macro opening. So we saw him go uber macro following that 11-11 racks last game. Targa, on the other hand.
There it is, command center.
Yeah.
Targa, on the other hand, is just making spawning pool in his main. Got the hatchery just about to finish up here. Curious to see if he'll go for that gas or if he'll go for that very fast 3 hatchery style here. I feel like he's a very aggressive player, so I'm leaning towards him doing more the 2 base play just based on what we saw last game. But there is another drone coming out here. Okay, it's just going down to the natural. All right. 2 gases for the Terran player here.
Yeah, this will most likely be a Hellion follow-up with the reactor on the barracks swapped over. I'm not actually... he tends to go for map dependent on cloak versus no cloak. I don't know why, but I've casted a surprising amount of his DBZs, respective to his other matchups. So that's definitely a fun matchup to cast. So I'm not sad for that by any means.
That's awesome. I was saying yesterday, I was like, it's awesome that Panda knows like so many facts about these players that people really don't get to see a whole lot of in the scene. I mean,
yeah,
they're
and it's
great
really
players
cool too,
yeah.
Because a lot of them are really, really underrated, and it's really nice to have competitions with open brackets like this. They can really shine. Aaures, like, people in general probably wouldn't have given them all that much of a chance. Just seeing him up against a name like Targa, but Game 1 really proved that wrong. Showed very, very strong play. Unfortunately, kind of derping there at the very end.
Just losing control, losing awareness of what exactly the situation was. I mean, I think he felt like he had it won. It definitely looked like he had it won, but not lifting up those orbital commands. There was at least 4 of them that just went down unscathed, like not lifting at all. And when that happens, you just, I mean, you feel like you're in the best position, but then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second. I have a great army, but I have no way to replenish this if it dies. And the thing about the Zerg race is that they are so good at trading units, especially in those late game scenarios when they likely have big banks built up too. So it was just, I think it was just not the best awareness in the world for Aaures, but certainly a great composition, a great idea with what he was trying to do with the overall concept of his build and his positioning out on the map.
It's difficult to having that be your first game of the day in a LAN.
Yes.
Like, it's really, really hard sometimes.
35 minutes, like back and forth action.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times when he just kind of dropped the ball, multitasking. He let at least 4 of his orbital commands die straight up. I think he had like 4 or 5 that match. So it's just, if he had an economy to fall behind, if he got that 5th up just a little bit earlier, things may have been different. But in this game, we have a 3rd CC coming from him yet again. Still no Overlord Scout on that. However, Targa is actually getting a 3rd base of his own, so he's going to be in a good position to defend this. However, there are 4 Marines walking across the map right now.
Yep, and a bunker is about to finish up too.
Yeah.
So
it is not in range, I don't believe, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If it is, it's in like literally the last pixel possible to attack.
Yeah, I mean,
that hatchery
still has an opportunity to make another bunker, and it will be protected by that bunker as well. But the Banshees are going to come out in the field here for Aaures again.
Denied. But the Hellions are in place, and he is actually going to leapfrog this bunker, building another one right in front of it. Targa will let the hatch complete. Baneling Nest is on the way, but he really doesn't have all that much aside from 3 queens to deal with this bunker right now. Aspire is going down for him, so it looks like he's going to just go for 2 base muted behind this yet again.
I really like that decision. I mean, he knows, okay, he's got Hellions out on the map right now. It's likely you're going to see the Banshee fall off. He's making that Spire as that precautionary measure, and also taking even further precautionary measures by making Spore Crawlers in his base as well. He's on the he's got 5 Queens out on the field right now, but I think this third base is going to go down here, Panda.
If he goes for this is really going to change the course of the game.
Ooh,
depending on the outcome. There are 4 Queens here. He does have an Overseer in case of Cloak. However, no Cloak on the way. Instead, he's powering double upgrades for Bio. So he will be going Re-Tank this game. And here comes Targa.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, however, beautiful detonations on the Banelings there. Unfortunate mismicro here from Aaures, and it's going to cost him all of these units. The Banshee even dying. Neither bunker getting salvaged. That was ridiculously cost-effective.
Yeah, and the
for Targa.
Third base lives.
That could have been microed so much better.
It could have.
Really unfortunate.
It could have. I mean, it was great positioning there. The 2 bunkers created a funnel. We saw all those Lings get taken out by the Hellions in that small little choke there. If he had microed them back and just taken out the Banelings didn't have speed, so they wouldn't have never caught up to those Hellions.
I think his control groups flip-flopped a little bit, too, because he wasn't actually controlling the Hellions there for the first part of it. Possibly just because he was trying to get the Marines in that bunker after it completed, but we do have 9 mutas following this up, and with 3 reactors coming down on these barracks, he really doesn't have all that much in the way of Marine production right now.
I'm very worried for Aaures here. He is powering up by getting those reactors on there, but no missile turrets are down in the main, no missile turrets down in the natural. Changelings are going to get up the ramp to see what the front is looking like over here, and Targa's going to move in with his first flock of mutas, and they aren't seagulls, so they're a little bit more deadly than that. SCV's completely running. There's not a whole lot of anti-air as mentioned before. Only 8 Marines right now on the field. Way more in production. Stim a quarter of the way, 3/4 of the way done right now, but no income from this main base at all for Aaures. Completely denied.
Yeah, without Stim, Targa can actually take these Marines with the mutas. However, 2 missile turrets going up in the main base and additional Marines on the way, so Targa decides to take the high route and not actually opt to commit there, which I think is a good decision.
No,
he knows he's in a lead right now, and he doesn't want to do anything to screw with that.
He knows what the composition of his opponent is, too. He saw the Marines in the main base. He saw that siege tank take out the Changeling at the front there. He knows that, okay, Banshees probably aren't going to be coming out again because I've gone mutas. But the turrets are going to deflect the mutas in the main. See how annoying he can be with them. Going to be taking down this 1 reactor. Opting to go actually for Stim instead, but Stim is going to finish up in time there. Reactor will definitely burn down. And looking at the upgrades here, +1/+1 is done on the Marines, +1/+1 is done for the Lings as well. +2/+2 on the way, pretty much at equal times for both players here. Zerg a little bit ahead in that regard, but the third base is really going to be a key factor here. Third base of Targa has been up for a very long time. His income is very steady right now, hovering over 2,000 mineral income, and the third base for Aaures has been blocked by these Lings.
Yeah, the one thing that is really going against Aaures right now, in addition to only taking this third base 13 minutes in, is the fact that he has yet to keep up with constant SCV production. He really falls into loops when Targa's putting on pressure with Mutalisks, be it Zerglings, whatever, that he just stops making SCVs. And right now, we see him at 44 to the 72 of his opponent. And saving up all of these mules for an eventual push to receive the creep spread, he really is hurting in terms of economy right now. And the mutas, still being annoying, don't manage to take out the combat shields, but damaging the tech lab just a little bit.
I wonder how much the effects of this being a LAN, I wonder how much this being a LAN is affecting Aaures right now. You know, you're not in the comfort of your own home, you're using a different monitor or a different PC, your settings may not be the same exactly as you use at home, so I'm wondering if he's feeling any discomfort in that sense. But he is getting his third base up now, tons of mules have been dropped, so we're going to see that income jump up so high.
Unfortunately, coinciding with a bunch of banelings getting morphed in, and speed has been completed, so Targa is looking to pressure the third here. 4 tanks in a very nice position. However, a lot of the Marines are located in the main base right now to defend against mutas.
He's gonna go pretty unchecked. I mean, there are 3 siege tanks down here at this third base, and an additional one at the natural as well. But that's just not the siege tank count that's going to be needed to take out these 30 Banelings with speed. And with the Ling support, with the Muta support, Ling, Bane, muted composition right now. I mean, we're gonna have to see. Actually, Aaures does have a decent little spread here. If he can get a huge spread out, he would be okay. But the big engagement is going down. Baneleys are gonna crash in. All of the tanks have been obliterated. Marines going down. Yes, and this looks like it is going to be a quick victory here for Targa.
And there's the GG